Last year I spent my summer exploring North Bay, Ontario, looking to tag alongside hard-working men and women who make an honest living. I wanted to see what life was like for the unsung heroes of the working class. The people who work every day to make a city function. I got my hands dirty, tried new things, and met some fantastic people. And now I'm going to do it all again on Season 2 of Steel Toe Rookie. Hi everyone, welcome to Season 2 of Steel Toe Rookie. We have a number of interesting jobs lined up, and we're going to start with arena maintenance, so here we go. Okay, we're in the rink with arena maintenance shiftman Eric Yee, and Eric is going to tell us a little bit and take us through what he does on a day in, day out basis with his job. Thanks for joining us today, Eric. Can you tell us some of what being an arena maintenance guy is?
Arena maintenance guy is to tend to the public, resurfacing the ice, maintaining the building, whether it be inside or outside, just tending to the public in any need for their sports rec on the ice.
Right. So I know that, I think historically everyone has wanted to drive the Zamboni.
Yes, yeah.
But I don't know, what made you come into this line of work?
I started here when I was 16 and started as a rink attendant. And I just fell into play and got some tickets down south to become this shiftman, and been here for about 10 years now.
Okay, some kids just got off the ice. We gotta go, I guess not we, you?
Yes.
Gotta go Zamboni the ice. What do we gotta do?
Well, first things first is we gotta make sure we have enough propane so the machine does run. Secondly is water. We have to make sure our tanks are full. We got our wash water here, which is hot water, and that's what fills in all the cracks out there. Next thing would be is have the doors open, and have your other worker with you move the nets, and then that way you can get it out onto the ice without anything in the way.
Right. Now you said that was hot water?
Yes.
Now why hot water and not cold? That doesn't make sense to me. I feel like cold water should be going on.
The hot water freezes actually faster and tighter, so it's a stronger bond. One of the safety things is doing your circle check as soon as you get in the morning, making sure your tires are not weathered and cracked, making sure all the lug nuts are nice and tight. Yeah, you just want to walk around the machine, make sure there's nothing faulty, make sure the lights are all in place. After you've done your circle check to make sure all the body's fine, you want to go on it, start it up, make sure all the lights and augers work, just to make sure everything's good to go for your flood. Okay, so I'm looking at this right here, which I'm assuming is some kind of a bumper? Yes, so you're going to be driving clockwise around the rink.
I was going to ask that.
So if you do get close to the boards, this will be the first thing to touch the boards, right, and it'll just bump you out. So if this wasn't there, you're going to hit it dead on, and you're going to probably stop, whereas this guides you. It's called your guide bumper.
Okay, so what is your day? Is it an 8-hour day, 12-hour, 10-hour? Do you work 4 times a week, 5 times a week, shift work?
The week is made up of 40 hours. It's 4 consecutive days of 10-hour shifts. 1 week you'll be on day shifts, which are 6:30 till 4:30 p.m. And then the following week you'll rotate to an afternoon shift, which is 4:30 p.m. to 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay. So, and is this a fairly good paying job?
Yeah, it's middle $20 an hour there, so you know it pays the bills. So
right. And now, is this something that you can move up and do other like, I don't know if it's a manager or I mean, obviously it's the city job, correct?
Yes, there is another position. It's the manager for the facilities, and although you are in the city, you can also move around to other departments.
Okay, Eric, if someone was going to get started in this, someone's interested, someone is thinking that you're giving a really good interview and making this sound awesome, how would they get started? What was your process of getting started?
First off is you got to make sure you actually want to get into this job. It's not for everyone, but it is fun and exciting. You need to take a basic refrigeration course, which is going on your own, paying for it yourself. And then there's also your propane tickets that you have to take. There's CPR and first aid. There's a few other little things that you need also. Good attendance, whether you work with the city or not already, they'll go by that.
Okay, so from the beginning to the end, how long would something like that take? I didn't realize that there was that many certificates and different things that you guys would obviously need to have.
You could have it all within a year.
Oh, you can?
It just depends on when the courses are held, right? So a lot of the courses for the basic refrigeration aren't held locally in North Bay,
Right.
so you have to travel, and it's a 4-day course.
You started as a rink attendant, and then how long before you came what you are now?
It took me 4 years as a rink attendant, and then I moved up to the arena maintenance shift guy part-time for a year and a half, and then I got on full-time. Yeah, a year and a half into my part-time, and I've been doing that for about 9 years.
Okay, Eric, obviously this is, like you said earlier, it's not for everyone, but would you recommend this job? Like, do you yourself enjoy it?
I do enjoy it. It's very exciting to see new people and just watching the sport. You know, you got hockey, lacrosse, ringette, and dealing with all kinds of events, especially if you're at Memorial Gardens. There's all kinds of events such as the curling, you got circuses. There's always something new and exciting. You're always keeping busy, and even if you're afternoon shifts, although it does go to 2:30 in the morning, things usually end at midnight, but there's always something to do here.
Okay, I never thought of that. You obviously are not just doing on-ice stuff. You guys do different stuff that run through the arena.
Oh,
like
yes.
circuses.
All the events.
Yeah, I never thought of that. So that would be certainly interesting to do. Okay, would you mind taking me through part of your day and see what it is you do?
For sure, not a problem.
Okay, thanks, Eric.
Yep.
Okay, we just got done resurfacing the ice. Now, what is your next thing that you do?
You're gonna come downstairs and wait for the rental that just came off the ice. They have half an hour afterwards in their change room to get changed and get out. Myself, and my other worker will go in afterwards and do a sweep in the whole change room, mop it, and also check the washroom part of the change room, make sure it's all clean for the next rental.
Okay, so I kind of have an idea now of why I can't drive the Zamboni,
Yeah.
even though I want to drive the Zamboni, but I certainly can clean.
Yes.
So can lead me to where the broom is.
Brooms, we actually have.
Okay, so this doesn't look too bad, but I'm sure that's not always the case.
Yeah, so after the rental's done, we're gonna come in and do our part. You'll be in charge of sweeping, and I'll let you take your time to sweep up the room, collect all the garbage and anything left behind from the other rental. And once you've picked up your pile, it's my part to come in and mop up all the water from the shower or any spills and give it a good clean over for the next crew coming in.
Right. What's the preferred mopping or preferred brooming, sweeping?
Sweeping, mopping,
What do you prefer? No preference?
no preference
No?
really.
Okay. I always thought that everything had a preference. Okay. I feel like I'm sweeping up. Well, I've done this at home, so.
For the mop buckets and the floors, we use a neutral floor cleaner.
Right.
You know, nothing too scented because it'll affect people coming in here changing. Some people are allergic to certain smells.
Right.
So you can't use anything too powerful, but you want to use something that's going to be disinfectant.
Right.
So it's nice and clean and sanitary for the next group.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to clean this area and get it free from debris, but I'm sure there's different issues in the winter with ice and snow and everything else.
That's correct. I mean, it all depends on what Mother Nature throws at us. We try to be out here as much as we can. Whether we're not flooding, we'll be out here shoveling. We also have a sand book that we log every time we put salt or sand out here, just to make sure that we're okay if something does happen out here, if someone hurts themselves. We got to be out here as much as possible, just because it also tracks into the building, which makes slippery surfaces in the building
Right.
more problems to deal with, right?
Right.
So if you can get it where it starts, and everything else is good.
Yeah, okay. I'll get this done.
All right.
Look at that extension. Come on in. There's big stuff going on here. Come on in. You can walk right up these stairs. They're nice and clean. They've just been cleaned. No, go ahead. Brush your feet though. Oh, geez. Oh, I'll get that. Don't worry. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay, dressing rooms are clean. Next group is in. Where are we off to now?
We're off to the plant, and in here we do check on the compressors every 2 hours. You want to come in and join me?
I do, but what does the compressor do?
The compressor is what runs the fluid underneath the ice to take away the heat to make everything freeze.
Ah, I do want to see that. Yes.
All right, come on.
Okay, so we're in here. This is like a little helter-skeltery, like with all the things. So you come in here every 2 hours. What do we need to do?
Every 2 hours you come in here, and this is what runs the building for the ice to actually be out there. You're coming in here and you're going to check pressures, temperatures, make sure everything's running perfect, because if you go without checking, something could happen and that could result in the ice melting. So you got to be in here every 2 hours to make sure everything's running properly.
So how many compressors would be in here?
Most rinks run from 2 to 4 compressors,
Right.
depending on how many ice pads there are.
So, and if a compressor goes down, we're in big trouble, like ice is melting, or what happens?
There is a backup process. Your ice won't melt right away. It will take longer to freeze because it's down one compressor,
Right.
but your other compressors will be still running to keep it cold enough that
Right.
it won't melt.
Okay, okay, let's roll.
All right. When the plant is running, it is a lot louder in here. You wouldn't be able to hear me talk.
Okay,
The belts on these things are moving very fast, so there's a lot of noise. When you're coming in here, you're going to be checking your temperature and your pressures. And also on the back of the compressor, there is a sight glass which shows the oil levels for the compressor. So those are the main things you're checking every 2 hours. If you notice something different, you usually just call the boss.
right.
They'll tell you, or it could be a simple fix. If the oil's low, you're just going to be adding more oil to the compressor yourself. There's a couple more things we have to check also, which is the ice pad temperature to make sure it's cold enough. If it's not cold enough and you're out there flooding, the water's not going to freeze, and it's usually because there's something wrong with one of the plants here.
Got it. Okay, so temperature of the ice.
Yes,
Let's
we'll go check the ice pad temperatures. Here we are with the ice temperatures. This shows the temperature of the slab out where the rental's taking place. This one's saying it's 17 on the left pad and it's 16 on this pad. They usually run about 16, 17. If I was out there doing a heavy flood, it would bring up the temperature, and if it goes within 3 degrees, it'll call for the system to start running to make the ice colder, to take the heat out from what I just put on there with all the water.
So that's when the compressors come on.
That's right.
Okay.
So
So
they're-
we're not until 20 degrees, like that much of a swing.
Yeah, a 3 degree difference.
Wow, okay. All right, we'd like to thank Eric E. for his patience today, and we'll see you next time on Steel Toe Rookie. I'm off to flood the ice. Yeehaw!